What's up, guys? It's your boy Dalton here, and I'm here with Christian.
Hello, yeah, it's me, Christian, again.
Well, Christian's gonna bring you a little deck profile. I'm just gonna scoot out of here. Christian, you got this?
Possibly.
Yeah! Make sure you like it if he messes up.
Alright. Well, hello guys. Like I said, my name's Christian, and I'm bringing you a Japanese blade deck profile today, and let's get to it. So first up, we have obviously the flag, Katana World, just a regular flag today. I run 2 copies of Blade Beast of Galoint, Oden Timijutsu. I don't know how to say these Japanese names, because it's not my main language. Cost of 2 gauge. When this card enters the field, and have 5 or more different Japanese blade in my drop zone, just draw a card in an opponent's field, so that's good for field control. And at the end of the battle that this card attacked, and if you have 2 or more different Japanese blades in your drop zone, for this turn, this card gets double attack and also has natural move. Now the good thing is, Japanese blade doesn't have to be a monster. It can also be an item or a spell, and even a impact. Let's move on to my size 2s. I run 4 copies of Blade Beast of Phantom, Ominaru Kunitsuna. Call cost, pay 1 gauge. Put this card in put the top 2 cards from your deck into this card. So at the end of this turn, if this card is rested, destroy this card as move and soul guard. This card is very good to field your Japanese blade cards. For example, like the card before, the size 3, it relies on having Japanese blades in the drop zone. Therefore, this is a very good card for that, and also has 3,000 defense, 3 crit, 6,000 power, so it can just go through pretty good wall destroyer. Moving on to the next size 2, running 4 copies of, it's pretty shiny, can't even see it, Blade Beast of Blinder Mikatsu Mushkika. Like for every single word that I mess up. Alright, pay 1 gauge and 1 life, which is pretty interesting. He's a 1/2/5. If you have 2 or more different Japanese blades in your drop zone, this card gets +1 crit. That's very good. At the end of the battle, and this card attacked, if you have 2 or more Japanese blade in your drop zone, this card gets double attack. It has move and penetrate, so that's very good for like a possible 3 crit double attack. Moving on to my size 1s, this is the body of the deck. Blade Beast of Exorcism, Juzumaru Tsunekyu. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, you gain a gauge if there's another Japanese blade on the field. So if you have an item or a set spell that's probably Japanese blade, you'll get a free gauge. And it doesn't say once per turn, so you can possibly keep calling him until you get the gauge that you need. Next card, the key card of this deck, Blade Beast Goshtwa Tujik Yasuksna. I need a translation book for this, for the love of Lord, or for the love of Buddyfight. So he's a 3/1/5, call cost of 2 gauge, and this is one of the best cards for this deck, because if you top deck this and you have some good cards in your hand, depending on what you're playing, you might win in 1 turn actually. And you'll get to this because this deck's pretty special. Now, because this is shiny, when this card enters the field, put up to 1 Japanese blade monster or item from your deck into your hand and shuffle your deck. And that's very, very good, because then if you want to, you can call another one of these and do that again. You can do it an infinite amount of times. And the second ability, if you have a Japanese blade on your drop zone, this card gets +1 critical and penetrate. Alright. Pretty powerful for a size 1. Now our size 0, you may be wondering, why is this card in the deck? Well, just because I can. We have Inverse 7th Omnilord, Earth Lord, Twilight Count. When you're dealt damage, you gain 1 life and deal 1 damage to your opponent. This ability activates once per turn. This 1/1/4, pretty good size 0. And then we have the spell to search for him. You can use this card in any world. Pay to gauge. Choose one of the following 2. Search your deck for an Omnilord and put your hand into your hand and counter. Rest of size 2. That's the emblem of the Omnilord. It's one of the best cards ever. All right, moving on to the rest of the spells. You got Art of Explosive Hades Fall. Set spell. You basically just pay a gauge and search a card from your deck, and that's a monster. Then size 1, 2, or 3. And you put it into the soul, and then reveal it. If your opponent calls said monster, like, they destroy that monster and deal 2 damage. Moving on. Standard card. Clear Serenity. Counter. Put the top 3 cards from your deck into the gauge. Run 3 of those. Next card is Katan Blazing Armorous. Counter, choose a Katana World Monster on your field, and for this turn, they give plus 5,000 defense and deal 1 damage to your opponent. You can only cast it if your monster is being attacked, so that's very good. We run 4 copies of Demon Way. Oh god, Katsu Miranen. I just see Darian over there laughing. Pay 1 gauge. Counter. Next time damage will be dealt to you is reduced to 0 and gain 1 life. All that meta with the can't be reduced to, or you can't nullify the damage. And then the next card, run 2 copies of Ninja Arts Snake Gaze. Pay a life, rest a monster in your opponent's field, which is very good. And I run 2 copies of 100 Demons Tome of Judgment. You may only cast this card if you have 5 life or less. Discard your entire hand, then draw 3 cards. You only do this once per turn. You can still cast this even if you only have that card in your hand. Next card is Demon Way Sakura Fubuki. Oh my goodness gracious. Pay 2 life, counter, nullify the spell cast, which is a complete troll if you're like link attacking, or if your opponent's like, oh, I cast this and to just ruin their setup. The next card here, I have Striking with the back of my sword. You may only cast this if you dealt damage to your opponent with your weapon. Deal 2 damage to your opponent. If your opponent's life becomes 0 due to this card, their life becomes 1. Running 3 copies, not 2. Alright, running 4 copies of Art of Body Replacement, just your standard nullify as long as it's not a link attack. Running 4 copies of Sword Skill. Just reload, not another one. Zantetsu. Alright. Basically, nullify the destruction of your Japanese blade, and then it gets to counterattack, or it gets the counterattack ability throughout that battle. Now for the weapons, I run 2 of the Elite Sword Mitsuki Munusha. It's just a 2 crit, 5,000, and a free penetrate. And at the end of my turn, this card goes to the drop zone, which works great to fuel the Japanese blade. And lastly, 4 copies of Giant Fiend Sword Kurumasa. Oh, a Japanese word that I can actually say. 6,000 power for critical. Pay by gauge. When you attack, you deal damage, and that's why Inverse Stun is in the deck, because this is a very, very aggro deck. And attack with it, you deal yourself a damage, deal damage back to your opponent for free. So that's a 5 damage in 1 turn possible. So that was my, I guess, Japanese Blade aggro deck actually, which is very good. It's very consistent, and it's, I have a sideboard for it, but I'm not gonna show it. It's still on the works. But thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment below. And if you want me to do another deck profile, just leave a comment and let me know.